Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me at Battle Rap Resume on the Twitter. You know that. We're also battleresume@gmail.com. Email us there. You'll get read out on a #AskBRR episode where I sort of go through the fan mail. Check out those old episodes as well. Please support the Patreon. Go onto iTunes. You want to support us there. You can leave us a review. Review is greatly appreciated. Whatever stars, give us the critique. Happy to hear it. We also have the Redbubble account as well if you want to pick up a little bit of Battle Resume merchandise. But yeah, you know, there's no real reason for this interview. I just huge fan of this guy. You know, had him on a while back. Always great to welcome back. You know, people who were awesome and have gone on to great things. Lush, how's it going, man?
Saturday, man. Scat, gang.
I was like, you know, I think when we did our episode, a lot of the comments were like, oh, you know, this is, you know, it was quite a positive light of you, you know, it was just kind of, you know, it was sort of celebrating what had gone down and stuff. And when I was reading the comments, I was like, yeah, what the hell? I was like, this is, you know, this is what it's about. This is obviously what that aim is. And with Watch, yeah.
There was I think we did that last summer, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ever since, I would say, like 2014, although, like, I'd say I've had so many accolades in the culture, not to fucking neck myself off or anything, but to kind of keep it a stack. Like, I've had so much positivity and I have a little legion of diehard fans who, despite my fuck-ups, think that I can do no wrong, to the point where, but at that period, it was kind of a low point as far as public favor was going. I was kind of, I wasn't quite marred in the midst of controversy at that point, but I was kind of clawing my way out of it. And really what I was deep in the streets doing all kinds of fucking retarded ass shit that had, you know what I mean? So, but as far as the culture and the general perception of me at that point, a lot of people, I was kind of resting on the laurels of my accolades, but more often than not, admittedly, when my name came up, there'd be a whole bunch of asterisks attached to it, and not just the giant star that I am, but fucking the bad kind of asterisks.
You know, and one of the points to this, I don't want to use the word rehabilitation because it's not, but you know, you've kind of became national treasure again. It seems, in a certain sense, in a battle rap sense. Part of that is the Avocado Watch series.
Yeah, I can't even front, you know, and I've always I know that when you have an extreme personality that has a strong viewpoint and flamboyant character and is involved in all kinds of controversial shit, you're gonna ebb and flow within the general consensus as far as the adulation of the fans is concerned. Like I said, other than that core contingent of trill ones. But yeah, like I'm definitely on the up and up, more and more than ever. You know what I mean? Literally, and the Watch series was clearly a huge turning point, and it was definitely unexpected that it would yield that result. But I will say that anything that Avocado puts his hands on is going to be fire. So I knew off top, you know, me and him, we both do a gang shit, but when we come together and do something, we're batting 1,000. He's already batting 1,000, but when I'm with him, you know, it's 1,000.
I've always felt, you know, battle rap commentary, it needs pundits, doesn't it? Like, I know in the States you guys love your sort of endless sports panel shows and stuff with so many pros, and there is like Champion, and there is
y'all
like,
be doing that,
you know,
with football too, though, right? You got hard.
No, it's to a big level, definitely, but like I love that aspect, the discussion of it. And okay, you have Champion and you have, like, you know, whatever, Butterfly and lots of various outlets like that, but there's something about that Watch capacity, isn't it? It's like battles just work better with friends, it seems.
Well, absolutely they do, and you know, speaking from personal experience, being you know, a teenager and in my early 20s, watching battles with my crew members and homies, like that was always the shit. I would be since I was the diehard battle fan of normally whatever circle of friend I was a part of, I was always the one digging in the crates, so to speak, or trolling YouTube trying to find the footage. And then when I'd find it, you'd go to the homies' crib and be like, yo, peep game. And then you all watch it together and everyone tweaks on the punchlines. You know what I mean? And that's kind of, this is an extension of that. And it has that whole Beavis and Butthead / Mystery Science Theater / you know what I mean? Like you said, or not even just sports analysts. Like people, motherfuckers buy a DVD. And then if you really love the movie, you watch that extended commentary from the cast and crew as well. It adds another layer and element. And I happen to be part of the culture. And not only that, like I think what was so successful as far as making my name poppin' once again as a result of the Watch series is a lot of people originally knew me as well, there's the contingent of people that literally just watch YouTube and aren't that invested in the battle rap culture. But you got to admit, you analyze it very well yourself.
Right. Thank you.
So there's a whole cross section of people that just watch YouTube videos and the back don't really. They're like they kind of skip the intros if anything, or they're like, "Yo, who's this fucking white boy talking like Snoop Dogg hosting the battle?" You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
So there's no real context, and people when they see me like that, they kind of just think I'm a character at best or a fucking imbecile at worst. You know what I mean? And so there's that contingent of people. There's a contingent of people that follow it a little bit more closely and be like, okay, in the beginning they knew, yeah, Lush One was putting together fire events, is actually a dope-ass rapper himself, and is a host as well, an entertaining host, whether you like him or not. He kind of has a reason to be there. And then over the past few years, like I said, since like 2014, Ether and all that, I haven't directly, as far as the public knows, although I was on an underground level behind the scenes, they didn't really know that I was even involved in putting together battles. They thought I was kind of like, I'm trying to use a cultural reference that'll even fucking, I was kind of like a fucking, like a Willie Nelson type motherfucker.
Right.
Shows up, it's faded, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's,
haggard.
We can't really get that, you know what I mean? Because it's, because it's that motherfucker. Or if you know about reggae and shit, Lee Scratch Perry.
Right. I can, the visual, yeah.
You can just show up anywhere and get fucking Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols. We don't even care. Ozzy Osbourne.
Right.
Show up. We don't care. Sure, he could actually still sing his ass off, but we don't care. He's Ozzy. He can come on stage and fucking puke for all we care.
Right.
And grab random bitches' tits. And that's kind of the reputation I've gotten the past couple of years.
Right.
So for people to see me in a context where I'm actually showing not only my historical and contextual knowledge and relevance in as far as battle rap goes, but realize, damn, this motherfucker actually A, knows a whole lot about fucking battle rap, B, knows a whole lot about hip hop in general, C, knows a whole lot about fucking random pop culture, and D, just seems like a funny, chill dude to fucking kick back and and smoke a blunt with, or just have a beer with and chop it up. And that's, I think that was a really good platform for me to just flex that. And I'd been doing it for so long, been on the Dirtbag Dan show, all these different outlets, had my own show, got my own podcast, all this different shit. So it was really nothing. I had no idea that would be the catalyst. But I think the Watch series and Ruin Your Day itself being so successful, and me being one of the more notable figures on there with Ilmac and Chase, a few others, it was like, oh, damn. And then all of a sudden, boom, got my position with King of the Dot back, and boom, all these other things started cracking, and here we are talking tonight.
Yeah, I want to just brazenly let it be known that Avocado, please invite me on a watch. I would love to do some Don't Flop. I think that would be great to do.
I know Avo loves you. You've had him on this show.
Yeah. Had him on, and obviously big huge fan of the guy as well. So that would be very cool. But I want to just go back to the series quickly for yourself, because Lush, obviously I'm a huge fan. As like you say, the archivist, I appreciate the level of detail and your memory. I have to come on. It's like photographic, these images you project.
Oh, it's kind of weird considering the fucking amount of abuse I done put myself through.
Right.
Like, literally, I've done everything possible from calcifying my pineal gland to just creating fucking craters in my brain that you could drive a golf cart through.
Right.
I don't know how I've done it to that extent, but somehow, some way, I've got to the point where, I do have an insanely photographic memory. And perhaps that's why I've done so many drugs and done all that shit, is to fucking forget some of this shit, but I can't. I have a ridiculous capacity to have that knowledge.
And you're very, in the best possible sense, verbose. You have a long propensity. Fair to say that some videos have commented like, "Oh, ex-battler looks annoyed because Lush keeps pausing vid."
And a lot of that you gotta. It's true to a certain degree.
I'm just saying.
You're absolutely right, but a lot of things people don't take in context, like the fact that a lot of those times these motherfuckers been sitting around for 3 to 4 hours, and me, I have the passion for it. I genuinely love this shit, so I could sit there for 12 hours. You know what I mean? And I love to talk, not just fucking just spit bullshit in the air. But if it's something I'm passionate about, it's hard. My wife just walked in. She knows, right? Like, it's impossible, baby. It's hard to shut me up about things I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about rap? Like, literally, hip hop is the hardest shit to get me to not talk about. Like, and that's the one thing I would say to anybody that wants to be somebody that's, I guess the word used was conduit, or you know what I'm saying, fucking just a purveyor of the culture. You really got to continue to study. It's not something you get to a certain point where you're like, all right, you're satisfied with the level of knowledge you have. You have to continue to press and just push the line on the level of knowledge and try to expand it, you know what I mean? Or else you're only just going to be partial to a certain sector. Like, my brain's always kind of worked like that, to the point where, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but when I was a child, I had just a crazy capacity for certain things. Like, I started, obviously every little kid learns about the planets and dinosaurs, but I really got interested in civic engineering. I'm talking about when I was 6, 7 years old. So I literally memorized the names of all the streets in my neighborhood, and I could recreate maps and draw the maps of my neighborhood just off rip, you know what I mean?
Bartography, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And it went from there to fucking to baseball statistics and sports statistics. And I could tell you players. I know that in the year 1894 there was a dude named Hugh Duffy that had a 440 batting average, which is to this day the highest single season batting average in Major League Baseball history. You know what I mean? Which like random things like that, which is a huge obsession of mine. And then when I was in 9th grade, I think it was like 1991, some shit like that. My sister-in-law got me a book called The Top 5,000 Records of All Time, and it was literally the Billboard Top 5,000 selling records from the 60s or the 50s to that point, and I read it front to back, and I've been obsessed with music and the whole music industry and the layout of it all ever since.
Because I do know that you obviously have extraordinary music knowledge, and I find that really interesting. And for the most part, my recreational listening is Metallica. I do a Metallica podcast, basically. So I'm always just listening to the band. And I occasionally listen to other stuff.
Bars, baby.
Yeah. And, I mean, Bay Area as well, kind of definitely from
area. Motherfuckers need to recognize.
Yeah, like huge sons of that area. But a hip-hop group that I quite found from the 90s, don't know if you're a fan of them, Lush, but they feel quite battle-rappy to me. Cellar Dwellers?
Oh, yeah, Cellar Dwellers were dope as fuck, dog. From the beginning, there was like a huge trend in the 90s of groups getting signed. And there's a lot of groups like Born Jamaicans, the Punk Barbarians, the Also Stupid, Cellar Dwellers, obviously the more successful ones like Das Effects, The Far Side, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. But the whole thing about groups at that point was a big deal. And Cellar Dwellers, definitely, like they're as real East Coast hip hop. They're all about the fucking they're all about just grittiness. You know what I'm saying? You can literally just see. I think they're from Brooklyn. I'm pretty sure. I remember I had their.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Flatbush.
Something about Reality and Realms.
Yeah. That's their debut. That Realms and Reality is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, those dudes are dope. I definitely fucks with Cellar Dwellers.
Yeah, they're really. I mean, like, I love going on Spotify and just going on related artists and exploring. But is that what your mind's like? Is it just this tapestry of hip hop?
Well, yeah, I could low key like. I guess in a sense you could say it's photographic, because I literally could see the page in the source with the fucking article about Cellar Dwellers from whatever it was, 1997, and that's a visual that I get, and then I remember this and that, and then certain joints, and then it kind of is, and I have the most ridiculous thoughts, like certain things plague me, like the fact that. And even though I've heard multiple stories about it, like things like the fact that in the early 90s, a group called Mobb Deep emerged as the same time as a group in the West Coast in LA called South Central Cartel, and they both had two MCs named Havoc and Prodigy. And to this day, that shit fucking drives me crazy. There's no clear story. Who bit who? Where did it come from? There's no biblical reference. Why is there juxtaposition of two such random fucking names? Things like that plague me to no end.
That's crazy. And are you aware of Nardwuar, that music sort of interviewer?
Oh yeah, Nardwuar owes me a motherfucking interview.
Oh, that's I always say this when I watch Nardwuar with people. I'm like, Lush One needs to go on Nardwuar. Like, I can't imagine what you would unearth. Crazy shit, man. And we'll get to battling. And one of the things that you did, kind of in that era we were talking about, just after we recorded our episode was recorded October 2016. In December, out to No Coast with King of the Ronalds.
Yeah. That shit was dope as fuck. Mickey Worthless and I are literally like, we might be different. We might be from different places, but we are the same motherfucking person. Like, there's so many similarities between him and I, and just like our whole brashness and not giving a fuck and just being, trying to push the limits. And, it made sense. It was a long time coming. I think when we first saw each other, it was almost just an understated rivalry, because we were like, there could only be one. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we're actually quite different, but there's a lot of similarities, and I fucks with bro heavy, and the two of us within the same proximity. You feel me? Lock up your fucking bitches, lock up your boots. It's all fucking bad.
And I mean, the atmosphere there, the battling. You've been to No Coast a fair bit, right?
Oh yeah, and I'm about to go back in September again. I had right before I talked to you, I believe I was out in Minnesota with No Coast right before then. Oh no, that was the time. And then I wound up going to Chicago slightly after. My bad. But yeah, no, I had already been a couple times before then, and I'll always continue to fuck with No Coast and be a part of them, because like I was alluding to earlier. My keys. Like I was alluding to earlier, they, you guys, No Coast, and a handful of more local outlets, which within LA, or within California, really looked out for me and gave a fuck about me when it wasn't necessarily the quote unquote cool thing to do. And for that, I have infinite gratitude. And No Coast is for sure in that category. And I'll go to the end of the earth for them boys, and defending those dudes for reasons like that, because I'm a loyalty-based person. That's just the principles I was raised with, and are pretty much unwavering within me.
No, it's great to see you kind of branching out, as you say, but now you've got that home. King of the Dot, bridges no longer, they're mended. Yeah,
and hopefully things like that can serve, and I don't know if you were planning on getting into this, but I definitely would like to discuss the Don't Flop thing, because I have a way different perspective than everybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The one thing I'm not going to do is slander them. You know what I mean?
No.
Any of them.
But as a wise figure of the scene who's seen many generations rise and fall, Lush, what is your take on this Don't Flop thing?
Well, this, I've kind of put it out there somewhat publicly, but I feel like this is a really good forum, because I'm pretty fucking sure Rowan will listen to it. Listen to this right here, especially when people catch wind of this. I want to just publicly put that out there. I would like to speak to Rowan, because there's, I would say, literally 2 or 3, or maybe, if anything, 1 person in the world that could understand what he's going through, and have a little bit of empathy for him and a clear perspective of, how he feels, as well as has been on the other side of it and been victimized by somebody that's been accused of the same things, i.e. my dealings with Matt Ills. So I feel like he should talk to my motherfucking ass. And I feel like I need to be in his fucking, stratosphere of influence to some degree. I think it would behoove him to a huge amount. And all I want to do is tell him that I understand him. And regardless of what the circumstances are, I promise you, I've been in more debt, jankier situations, and had my friends hate me even fucking more. You know what I mean? And I fucking bounced back. I've had the community with more pitchforks and tars and feathers.
Right.
I've had more people praying for my downfall and excited for the opportunity to usurp me. I've had, you know what I mean, more odds stacked against me, and the fact that I know that I'm someone that he looks at as, there's been times where I've been more successful than him. There's been times where he's been more successful than me. I know that we have mutual respect for each other. We've never done each other janky. He looks at me, if not as an OG, which I know that he does, but as a fucking equal and a homeboy brother. And that I would like to be to him, regardless of what the fuck he has done. I will not judge him, and I want to be there for him. And just, whether he wants to mend the situation, whether he wants to say fuck it, whether he thinks he's right or is open to various suggestions, I just want to just put it out there. I'd like to chop it up with him and do what I can to be there for him, whether he's right or wrong. And that's not to say in any way, shape, or form that I condone his actions or don't equally fuck with Bamalam, Kruger, and Liam, especially, Liam and Kruger are my fucking homeboys. Those are my rellies, right? You know what I mean? Like, we done broke bread on several occasions, I fucks with their whole entire thing, you know what I'm saying? Their whole, I fucks with DF,
Oh, yeah.
And I fucks with RF, too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
RF is my fuck.
Aside from Rowan, in particular, like, the whole thing, you say you're a fan of DF. It's sad, isn't it, to watch it kind of implode?
Well, what's sad is because of how much I can relate, especially because I've seen, I feel like I'm somebody, like, I feel like so much, and people could call me arrogant or not, but, this, if I were dead right now, there's no question that people would be speaking of me in this manner. So why not speak of me while I'm alive, right? You know what I mean? I know that so much of this literally, and there's people that came before me and influenced me, but there's so much of this shit that was spawned by me. I showed so much of these dudes how to do their shit, fucking included, organic included. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these fools learned from, so I came up first. I got my name first. We got our shit popping first. We got our whole thing. I went through all the pitfalls, all the fucking, the battles with my own egos, and subsequently the failures as well. And I experienced them all firsthand. So it's kind of like it's kind of like, I had a kidney stone before. That shit hurt like a motherfucker. You feel me? I was pissing boulders out my urethra. You know what I mean? When I hear about somebody having a kidney stone, it makes my fucking dick hurt.
And how does that relate to Don't Flop?
Because when I see what's happening to her,
right.
When I see what's happening to her, it hurts me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It hurts me more than it hurts the average motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like, I totally, and the thing is, like, what I'm aware of is certain things that other people might not be seeing, like, and might not be as hurt by, as like the destruction of an institution, all the hard work, all the people, all the, family members and friends and girlfriends and just everyone that was like, yay, pushing this line, waving this flag that is becoming tainted to the point of people are probably going to fucking burn their fucking Don't Flop merch in the streets like books in Nazi Germany. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and like that shit, like this, the destruction of something so beautiful and on point, and the fact that, and just him being dragged through the mud. And here's the worst part too: the vultures coming out the woodwork,
right.
The fucking, all the other leagues, all the battlers going different places. And I'm not saying they shouldn't, because they have every right to. This is not against them at all. Like, all respect to them. And if I was in their position, I'd probably be doing the same shit. You know what I mean? That's not fucking that's not the issue.
And I had I don't want to call him one of the vultures, but I had Callum Martin on, who obviously Callum, and we were speaking about this whole situation. It's quite a well listened to episode. Check that out if you haven't listened to it yet. And one of the things that he says, Lush, is he believed that hypothetically, if Rowan wasn't there, a King of the Dot Don't Flop card probably would have happened by now.
Oh, I mean, I think that's there's a lot of logistics that could or couldn't have made that thing happen. So I think that I wouldn't say that. I heard the other interview with Bro, and I like homie a lot, and I respect him, and he seems like a hard worker. But you know what I'm saying, a lot of the terms he was using were a bit hyperbolic and a bit extreme.
What
you know
like?
what I mean? Like that, for example.
Right,
you know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like for a perfect example, like not to mention slave labor and things like that.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
I listened to the whole interview, not
Right.
even on no voyeuristic shit, on some I care about this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I totally get that, man. And, it is just, insane. Do you feel like people care overseas, or is this more of a UK thing?
I think people, it is way more of a UK thing, obviously. It's like, you know what I mean? If there's fucking floods in New Orleans, the whole world cries about it, but fucking people in Louisiana are directly affected by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The tragedy is striking out there, and it's affecting the entire landscape of the culture out there. People that really care about battle rap, and there's a lot of, don't get it twisted, fool. A lot of us out here love fucking UK battle rap and don't flop, and what about all the battlers from out here that want to go to England and expand their horizons and fucking keep shit popping out there? And you know what I mean? It's bad for the UK battle scene. It's bad for all of us. You know what I mean? Like, I also see people chopping their lips and fucking being psyched about it and, reveling in the misfortune of others, which to me is corny as fuck.
No, I agree. And let's get onto some fortunes of others. Yourself and King of the Dot. Have you done your first event yet?
My first technical event. Now, okay, let's clarify a few things.
Yeah.
But it's going to be announced tomorrow. I have my own little. It's going to be announced tomorrow. I got my own little special spiffy flyer, because they try to do me like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I am actually one of the hosts of Massacre, and I did help put together the GZ card. Organic and I booked Megadeth versus Rosenberg Raw, and I booked and Gully and I booked Saint, who's my young protege, hit her on the payroll. I don't know if you've seen Saint yet.
Oh yeah.
But, he's about to spaz on the world. 20 years old. Him versus Times. So my first event is tentatively scheduled for August 13th. The headline battle for that is Saint versus Pass. And the concept behind this, as well as the other matches, which, no, I will not leak at this time.
Right.
Although by the time this airs, depending on when, it might be announced. But the theme of the card is old fresh codes versus new. You know what I'm saying? The changings to the guard. Not necessarily. It's kind of like, this is, it's kind of just showing this is where we were, this is where we are. Let's combine these two elements and just show what's West really with it.
So good to see you back, man, because obviously someone of your talent needs to be, picked up and utilized in the right way with the knowledge. And, give us a general landscape of battle rap. What is battle rap in 2017 to someone who's seen so many different years?
To me, it's kind of it's an incredible place overall. It is I feel like the commercialization, or should I say, the attempted commercialization of battle rap has failed so many times to the point where it's not even a cliche anymore. It's almost it's redundant to the point of irrelevance.
Right.
This point. And so now what we're seeing is just outlets have developed that make sense for battle rappers that are heavily showcasing the art form in different forms, and you're just going to and battle rap is continuing to carve its niche beyond hip hop culture into just modern youth / internet / youth subcultures of the world. It's battle rap is more ubiquitous than it ever was. It's easier to access. There's more people participating. There's more leagues. There's more opportunities for people that surpass the market, or I should say, transcend the market. And it's kind of it's a damn great time to be a fan of battle rap and a battle rapper. Now, there are certain things, such as specific trends involving stylistic changes, people overusing boring, trite, or as y'all say, shite ass fucking associative wordplay. that fucking, you know what I mean? That doesn't really behoove itself to people that aren't super nerds and deeply invested in the culture. There's certain things like that which I think are whack, but like Nas said, a thug changes, a love changes, and best friends become strangers. Like shit fucking changes. You feel me? The world keeps turning. We're finna see the stylistic shifts, and I think overall it's dope to be involved in battle rap. I feel challenged as fuck to stay on my toes, and I feel very fortunate to have found my niche, and I'm going to continue to kind of expand off of my strengths. And it's great to be working with. The thing about King of the Dot, like we was always fucking with each other, and we were always brothers. It was just a matter of it being cemented in the public eye. And to be honest, I knew it would happen at some point, but I wasn't sure when and in what capacity. And it's great to see. I think, like, for better or worse, the King of the Dot fans fucking love me. You know what I mean? And they kind of, like, whether or not I want to be with them and whether or not King of the Dot wants me with them, the fans want it so bad that it kind of forges an extra layer of our bond. But that's not to say that I'm beyond grateful to be with King of the Dot, and I think they're pretty damn psyched that I'm over here, wagging my dick around in the West, making sure that our fucking soil is cemented as well.
Mm-hmm. And there's another card happening in the West soon as well, Battle of the Z 8, which is just, I mean, are you involved with that?
Yes, I am. I'm co-hosting that. My little brother's DJing that as well. So, yeah. That's going to be tubular as fuck, man. I'm dummy psyched.
Like, are you really aware of this card? Because I want to sort of go through day one. Do you know these battlers, or?
Oh, yeah, I know all these kids.
So talk to me about Jaws versus Hysteric Slap.
Okay, well, Jaws versus Hysteric Slap. When it comes down to it, you see, like, Battle of Z is a format which embraces weirdness. It's kind of, if let's say King of the Dot West Coast is Don't Flop in its prime, even though that's an odd comparison, but just to do it to your predominantly British audience and sensibilities. Sure. Let's say that King of the Dot West is Don't Flop in its prime. Fucking Battle of the Z is King of the Ronalds in its prime. So you have a lot of MCs like this who are kind of finding their niche. A lot of them are inspired directly by Dan. A lot of them are inspired by other West Coast MCs, and these dudes are no exception.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting people on here that I'm not too aware of, so we don't need to go through them all because I appreciate, again, for the British audience. But I should say the Battle of Z, July 28th, Friday. $15, which is pretty reasonable, really, for the buzz. Talk to you about MC Dammit versus Maniacal. That's the top of the BOTZ tournament.
Okay, yeah. So MC Dammit is a dude that got who cut his teeth freestyle battling in Tourette's. He's kind of from the rural northern outskirts of the Bay Area. He's dope, though. You feel me? White dude. I believe he's fucking sober. There was a hilarious meme of him and I dapping at the last Battle of the Z. It's really fucking funny, dude. If you look it up if you can. It's retarded. But yeah, MC Dammit's funny as fuck, and he has bars. He has dope rhyme structure, multis. He's definitely I think a lot of these Battle of the Z MCs have similar sensibilities that'll appeal to a UK audience, especially the more lighthearted fucking Shufflo O'Shea side of things. Right.
And we get to the main day, the main card, which is an excellent.
Oh, and Maniacal, sorry.
Oh, Maniacal, of course.
Yeah, Maniacal, way more aggressive style, super hard from the Central Coast. He's fucking dope.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean,
very hungry.
Yeah, no disrespect, Maniacal. I guess it's if like some Zay guys went for a King of the Ronalds card. It's kind of it's just the mystery there. But the intrigue develops with day 2, the main card. We'll get to the Caddy Royale, but just these 4 battles are excellent. Starting with Essam versus Patron. I like Essam a lot. Who's Patron? Not really aware of the guy.
Patron is
Patron. I'm thinking of my Patreon. Sorry, Lush.
Yeah, Patron. You feel me? My wife telling me to do dishes. I'm gonna do dishes when I'm done with the interview. Don't trip. Even battle rap moguls gotta do the motherfucking.
Oh shit! Insight.
It's like that. I know. It's crazy. Fucking but Patron, obviously named after the tequila. He's dope. He's from the Northwest. Really aggressive style. He's a fucking short, kind of stocky Asian dude. Looks like he likes to fucking throw hands.
Right.
He definitely comes with it. Almost a more street style. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. And copyright who
who's Patron battling again?
Essam.
Essam is the fucking man. If you don't know about fucking Essam.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm a big Essam fan.
Not only does he literally resemble Notebook era fucking Ryan Gosling, you feel me? But no, like Essam's last of the dying breed when it comes to like. He's a fresh coast spitter that was born 10 years too late.
Right.
He's one of us to a T. He really understands this hip hop shit. He makes dope beats if you don't know too. He's a dope producer. He kind of has a rap structure that sounds like it would make sense over beats, but is not like that corny like I'm rapping to the rhythm and I'm spitting it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Copyright, who we witnessed the birth of on Don't Flop, really rebirth, I should say, when he battled Tenchu. He was okay then, but he does seem to be getting better and better and better. And him versus Fredo is a cool matchup.
Well, it's kind of it's funny because I really think that although Fredo is a little more rhythmically based and a little more melodic and swagged out, there's a reason him and Reverse Live are both part of the LOD crew because they match up very well with the same opponents. Remember, Reverse battled Copyright at No Coast back in Chicago earlier this year as well. Now, what's notable about this match, people have been fucking jockeying, like all of us, myself included, since we were jits, since we were like 19, 20 years old, looked up to Copyright, and Copyright was one of our favorite MCs, and Copy's one of the first dudes to really, amongst, along there with like Royce the 5'9" and Elzai and fucking Vakil out of Chi-Town. And over in the UK, there's a slew of MCs that were doing it as well. We're really just taking wordplay and punchlines to a new level, doing shit that we would consider corny now, but like taking two different words or two different concepts and using a double entendre for each of them. Like, I'm going to use a terrible example, so please don't fucking slip in the comments for shit like this. But lines like, you feel me, like if I busted a nut on your spine, you couldn't come back. You feel me? Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is, I know that's a terrible bar, but he was literally one of the first dudes to introduce that type of punchline.
Yeah.
Like, leave your eyes. Like, I smoke till my eyes are bloodshot like a Crip set. You feel me? Like things like that. Like, which today don't really, maybe that's a decent setup bar at best nowadays. Maybe, you know what I mean? But at the time, like, you're talking 1999. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Copyright, we all looked up to a lot. He's a dude that kind of went through a lot of ebbs and flows in the industry, dealt with a bunch of bullshit. Considering his level of talent and everything he's been through, he deserves a much greater deal of success in the game. And I really respect him for understanding his lane and him, because I've been talking to Copy for years. That's my homeboy. Him stepping into the ring, battling these dudes, he's only doing it purely for respect. His paychecks that he's getting, they're not crazy. He's getting a little dough or whatever, but he's not doing this for that. He's doing this because he loves the art of lyricism, and the paradigm of lyricism exists within battle rap culture. There's no fucking rappers on tracks that are making any music worth listening to that are spitting as complex and intricate and interesting and invigorating lyrics as anybody in battle rap. And if you think they are, you might want to listen to some better music.
Yeah. Completely agree. And lyricism runs throughout this card, really. The next battle especially is a sort of apex of it. Chilla versus Madflex.
Yeah, I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about pens. Now, Madflex, his resume, he's in that same category as MC. As I would say there's a little subgenre of battle rapper, and it's comprised of people that literally have pens which could bang with and or are superior overall to any of the top names. Like these dudes rap or write as good or if not better than the fucking than the Tay Rocks and the QPs of the world and the Disasters of the world, or you know what I'm saying, whoever. But they don't push they don't push the same style of fucking associative wordplay. They don't rap about guns they don't shoot and or do shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to like try to question street credibility or whatever, but they're not literally fitting into the mold of the stereotypical quote unquote drug dealer. I wear hella fucking shine and fucking and jack fools and fuck bitches and sip lean. That whole mold, they don't fit into it. You know what I mean? Whereas dudes like Hitman Holla, whereas even the Verb, A Verb, Goods, Hollow, these dudes fit that image. Not to take away from them. That's not a bad thing. But there's a bunch of dudes that don't fit that image and don't rap to that same degree or about that same shit, but are just as nice, if not better. That list is comprised of Ness Lee, Chilla Jones, Pass, and I would say now Mad Flex has inserted himself into this conversation at this point. Although he doesn't quite have the accolades as these dudes, he's battled half of them. After this, he'll battle another one. He went toe to toe with Geechee Gotti. He slipped a little bit in one of his rounds, but I mean, to go against rappers with that much aggression and still shine with strictly wordplay says a fucking lot. You know what I mean? Especially in an away game, he's battling way closer to Geechee's home than his home. So, Flex can really fucking hang with anyone. Chilla doing the damn thing. I think the thing that Chilla's disadvantage in this is the fact that he has to battle Ill Motherfucking Immaculate in a couple weeks. Or, I'm sorry, 8 days.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's like there's no fucking time between these matches.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and you got Saurus as well, who's battling Clips just after from Reverse Live here,
and as is Ilmax in the Caddy Royal as well. So
yeah, that's right, that's mad. But just to get back to Chilla Madflex as well, I mean, obviously Madflex is exhibiting writing wise something just absolutely explosive over there. Like I would argue, like, and I used to be a Chilla stan, I prefer Madflex's writing now.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really too many fools that I like. Like, I mean, I really fuck with, like, writing-wise, just strictly pens. Like, I really fuck with, like, Dunch and E. Farrell and fucking Megadeth and Eric Foreman. Like that, Jeff, that whole fucking young public team. Even though, like, I don't give a fuck about the whole political ideology thing, whether I'm rocking that way or not. You feel me? It really don't matter. I give a fuck about bars. Like, you see the type of MCs I push. You see clearly. I fuck with more black folks, Latino folks, period, in my life. My wife's a black woman. I don't be around white folks like that to keep it a stack.
Right.
But I care about bars first and foremost. I'm a fan of art, and these motherfuckers are pushing the pen. Mad Flex is amongst that level. The kid Dutch is amongst that. These are motherfuckers that are. But Chilla. Like, Chilla's really been so influential and, like, unwavering. You don't really... Like, the critique of Chilla is lack of personality, boring, things like that. It's got nothing to do with his level of writing. It never slacks. Neither does his performance. Like, really, like, battles like this, I think they're both going to write their ass off. Whoever is a little cooler and appeals to the crowd more, that's what's going to win this battle. It's got nothing to do with who outwrites who. Because they're both going to outright each other.
And next battle that we just touched upon, Saurus Reverse Live. Now, Saurus obviously had, in my opinion, probably Battle of the Year with Topper at the last Battle of the Day. Like, I'm so jealous that you were front row, man. That's such a classic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you got to understand, like, all of us, when you start, like, talking about real fresh ghost fools, like, we've been rhyming together for so fucking long, dude. And we done... Like, these battles occurred in different shape. Nothing, like, orchestrated to this degree or anything close to it or with that much pressure. But we'd rhyme together and freestyle, faded each other so many times that it's, like, it's so natural. It's almost, like, more like collabing on a track at this point with fools like that. And it's just for the sport. And that's not to say that the competition is not theirs, but it's because, like, it's like playing in a fucking... competitive fucking football, or when I say football, I mean European football, or a basketball league. You know what I mean? Where motherfuckers like, yeah, we might be homies, but we going at it every single fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not kicking to the goal light. I'm gonna hurt the motherfucking goalkeeper's hands when he fucking makes a save. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. We trying to score, and that's what it is, dude. I would say if anything, Reverse Lives got way more to prove. But then Pete wants to. Oh, Pete Thesaurus always had such a wide gap,
right,
between him and the rest of us. He was always so much better at freestyling and battling that he likes to keep that gap wide. He don't want it to be. He don't like when motherfuckers get close. And Cody Sepulveda, this Jit Reverse Live, he's getting a little too close for comfort. So, I think that the crowd, to a weird extent, the underdog effect might be in Reverse's favor. But as soon as fucking Pete hits him with one of those room stoppers, there's not much that can be done. Pete is a lot more poised, has better fucking control. I think Reverse needs to fucking really settle down and talk to this boy if he wants to win. That flip ain't finna fly.
Yeah, I mean, Saurus is kind of like the final boss for Reverse in a certain West sense, right?
He's the final boss of the game.
Yeah.
For everybody. Like
true.
But yeah,
true.
Reverse for sure. You know what I mean? Like, there's no. I mean, shit. Reverse already done battled heavy hitters on the East. He done battled Disaster. He done battled all these different.
Topper.
Reverse. Topper early on. There's not too many fades amongst us left.
No.
I'm pretty sure Thesaurus and Reverse battled freestyle multiple times, like on stage type shit. But
right.
I just once again I'm jealous of myself for being able to be front row for this one as well.
No, crazy. And we top it off with the Caddy Royale, 6-man Royal Rumble. This is crazy. Frank Stacks, everybody knows. Mickey Worthless, Immaculate, Marv One, Real Deal. That is A-list. That is Spielberg cast.
No one can do what Dirtbag Dan is doing right now. Like, literally, Dirtbag Dan is utilized battle rap to such an incredible way and carved. This is what everybody needs to do. What Dirtbag Dan has done, carved his own niche. He fucking lives off of this shit, off of his art, between his battling, his comedy, or not really battling. You don't battle actively too much anymore, but his rapping, his comedy, his YouTube shit, his show, his fucking events, him being able to fucking finesse and finagle super cheap prices out of these motherfuckers and get everyone to agree to do something so outside the box. I think people, obviously my brother Caddy and just that name being attached to it, we're at Colorado Rockies hat. If you support Caddy Ron, we're a CR hat, we ain't from motherfucking California. I'm from West Los Angeles, 5700 Black Clemson and La Cienega. We don't wear those hats. I wear CR hats for Caddy Ron. So anybody in England, you guys get American baseball hats, wear that Colorado Rocky CR hat. But so the Caddy name being added to the position, equation adds a lot of weight. But Dirtbag Dan himself, you got to take your, hats off to the brother. Colorado Rockies hats off to the brother, because for putting this together. A match like this is really anybody's game. I want to say kind of off the gate, my prediction is Frank Stacks. I'm just going to go on record and say Frank Stacks going to win this.
Interesting. And it's not like a Royal Rumble thrown together at the end of an event. It's these guys are only writing verses for this battle. So it's just going to be madly prepped, isn't it? It's going to be a real prestige event.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of freestyle. That's the other thing, and I forgot to say it earlier, is the fact that this is incredibly lighthearted. You know what I mean? This is it's right now we're making the new non-perishables. I don't know if you heard of the Fresh Coast non-perishables.
Yep.
We're doing volume 4 now. We got everybody on it. It's super tight. And people, we're all just having fun. Everybody's putting little 12, 16, 8-bar verses, just trying to outdo each other, but having fun with it. This is a lighthearted event. You don't lose any stripes by losing the Caddy Royale. You know what I mean? You're not putting your rep up to the same degree. You don't have the same level of pressure. Yes, it's prestigious. Yes, the level of competition is high. Yes, nobody wants to look stupid with their motherfucking phone out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That absolutely, but to the same degree, people ain't really tripping the same, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. But it's a really fascinating matchup. Is it going to be on pay-per-view live or?
Don't flop for that shit.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Don't Flop, we wouldn't have even had no motherfucking Battle Royale shit.
Yeah. No, that's true. But is this going to be available on pay-per-view?
I am not 100% sure. I believe so. Yes. Yes, I believe so. I believe it's going to be on pay-per-view. The same, I think it's the Vimeo pay-per-view swag. So it's not going to be live.
Sure.
But it's going to be VOD. I believe so.
Yeah, that's awesome. And obviously, people need to get down to that if they have the ability to. I'm very jealous of people that can venture out there. But what's next for you, man? I mean, that's coming up soon. Any other events you're hosting or putting on?
So, yeah, like I said, hosting in Massacre.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Co-hosting me, Organic, and Smack are co-hosts, and Poison Pen are co-hosting Arsenal vs. Loaded Lux in New Jersey this summer. Arsenal is retirement match, and he wants to have all the dudes that had a major impact in his career to co-host on stage together. So, it's kind of like fucking it's like a Sith Lord coalition. I don't even know. You feel me? Like,
oh man, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I'm hosting a GZ event in Miami. I'm hosting an LA Battlegrounds event in September. Obviously, my event, August 13th. Got a couple more KOTD West events coming up scheduled for later in the year. I got a No Coast event September 20-something as well. Yeah, bro, I'm staying fucking busy.
Yeah.
Got this whole Fresh Coast Non-Perishables project coming out. Music featuring myself, Immaculate, Sat, Dirtbag Dan, Fredo, Pistol McFly, Bobby Butcher, Awkwards, Chase Moore, a whole bunch of other fools. It's fucking awesome.
That's crazy, man. I mean, just as a parting question, I guess, like, whenever you come on, obviously, as I say, I'm always, flabbergasted, really, by the life you've led involved in battle rap. Would you ever write a memoir?
Man, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like man, if I read a book, I'll write a book if people will be willing to read it. You know what I mean? As long as people are willing to read it. I try to live my life like a book is fucking not to sound like a corny ass meme that a bitch going through a breakup would post, but like I really try to, I try to live as artistically as I possibly can, and you know what I'm saying? Keep my head above the water but below the bullets. You know what I'm saying? What would JFK do? What would JFK do if he was a drug-addled rapper?
Right. No, that's that could be the title of it, to be honest. But yeah, that would work well. But Lush, it's always great to have you on. I want to urge people to check out Battle of the Day, check out all the Watch stuff, all of Lush's stuff coming up as well.
Yeah, and I forgot, man. I hate being a plugger.
No, so please.
I got this podcast called Flavor Junkie, where my little brother Smokey Martinez and I we play a mix of new dope music, exploring the different regions and the different idiosyncrasies of each specific region and style of hip hop, and then we have discussions afterwards. It's pretty fucking dope. So that's been my primary focus. We've just reached now 13,000 listeners, so that's just going well. We actually have a collaboration with Hip Hop DX related to that coming up as well. So man, just trying to keep it pushing, man. Trying to be a purveyor of the fucking culture. You know?
Yeah, tell me about it. But I'll pop all this stuff in the description, so definitely you can follow all those links. But Lush, as ever, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much, man.
My guy Tom, you know what I'm saying? You're the motherfucking man. One final plea. You know what I'm saying? All y'all boys out there, work it out. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all my folky. Right. Liam, fucking you my brother. You my folky. You feel me? Kruger, fucking all y'all fellas, man. I just pray for the best, and I pray for UK hip hop and the battle scene to continue to thrive and survive. You feel me? 6'7" Brixton gang.